Hey everyone, it's already the 3rd of April. I'm sorry, I totally forgot to film my wrap-up on the 1st. Yeah, don't know why. Let's go have a look at March. March was a really good month in total. It was my birthday month. I filmed a video and thank you everyone for all your nice birthday wishes. I also told you about the day after my unbirthday party and you all had some nice comments there too. Thank you very much. But it was not all about my birthday in March. We also talked about which book saved our life, and I really liked reading your comments and the books that you mentioned, and it was very interesting to see how you all took that question. Thank you all for enlightening me there. And we also talked about the difference between vlogging and experiencing things, because I didn't really vlog a lot on my vacation. And a lot of you said you had the same thing, that you forget taking pictures because you're so in the middle of doing something. And I really liked that. I also uploaded an advice video on how to travel more. And thanks Candace for reminding me how small Europe is. I actually noticed in Los Angeles myself that driving for an hour didn't even get me out of town there. One of my advice tips was to just go to the next city. But if I drive from my town for 1 hour, I can go to where the Pied Piper lives. Yeah, Europe is smaller. But anyways, just go travel. Look the video, there are some good tips, and I like the comments as usual. I always love your comments. When do I not love your comments? You guys are awesome. And still I tricked you in telling you I know how to stop eating sweets, which of course I don't. There was one art assignment I did, becoming someone else, and I really liked your comments, how all of you felt similar with like changing for work, and some of you liked it, some of you don't, and it was really, really interesting. I also uploaded 3 tag videos. I did the Sisterhood World Vlogger Award tag. I hope that's what it was called. And I totally failed on tagging anyone, but I just answered Sylvia's questions. I also finally put my hands out for the poetry challenge, and I think I did okay-ish. But you should check out Nicole's Instagram and her blog, because she's been going crazy on those. She really likes the poetry challenge, and she's much better than I am. For the My Wishes tag, I took you outside and we went for a walk because we had nice weather that day. Not today, it's snowing. Now that we're done with the videos, let's move to the books. I read a fair amount of physical books and listened to a ton of audiobooks. Flight time, I'm telling you, flight time. The first book I read and reviewed was 27 by Kim Frank, and it's a German book by a German author, and I really don't recommend reading it. It promised a lot, but didn't deliver. After that, I picked up the perfect book to get out of that slump, The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie, and oh my god, this book is awesome. The writing is so hilarious and still honest. The story of the 14-year-old Indian who leaves his reservation to go to school in an outside white people's school, and the struggles he has to face after that are just amazing. It's heartbreaking, it's funny, and it makes you really understand and see the world of, his world, and I can only recommend this book. The next physical book I reviewed was Small Gods by Terry Pratchett, where I basically failed to tell you anything about the book except read it, which I'm going to do now again. Read the Discworld novels. The last physical book I read, I don't know, I counted because I read it and I haven't read it before, but it was The Magic Finger by Roald Dahl. I read it with my beginner's class and I filled up some weeks and we just had fun with it and I really liked it. I put up only one audiobook review, For Just Kids by Patti Smith, because despite liking the book, I also more liked how I reacted to the book, because the way she talks sometimes helped me just drifting off, and I was so inspired and just dreamt while I listened that I probably have to listen to it again. But I thought this book was very interesting because it was such a great portrayal of the time she lived in and of her work and her working ways, and I really enjoyed that. I also listened to the BBC production of Good Omens, and it was really well done. If you haven't read the book, I can recommend this, but I do recommend reading the book and listening to the audio version, because it's an adaptation, not an unabridged version. But I really like the voices and especially the outtakes at the end. I just thought that was hilarious. I also continued listening to the Dresden Files. I'm at book 5, Death Masks, right now, and I start to see a reoccurring pattern, and it seems a little bit predictable and repetitive at the moment. I still like the series and I still like the narration by James Masterson, but I don't know. it feels a little bit dragging sometimes, and I do have the feeling the books get longer, but maybe that's just me. I also continued listening to the Iron Root series by Kevin Hearn, and I really enjoyed it. Just as the first book, the narration and the audiobook was perfect. It was hilarious, it was spot on, it just kept you sucking in, and I couldn't stop. And this book was a little bit more filled with action than the first one. The last audiobook I listened to is a little bit like The Magic Finger. I just count it because I listened to it. Audible had this classic love poems edition read by Richard Armitage for free a few weeks ago, and yeah, I got that, I listened to that, and it is enjoyable, it's well done. And you can probably listen to it over and over again because it's only 22 minutes. Overall, I can say March was a great month. Thank you all for your support, for your help, and everything, for being so awesome. And just let's hope April is going to be a lot more fun too. And I just realized this is the first April I'm not doing Vita. Oh well. Thanks you all for watching. Bye bye.